quite the introduction. I'm super excited to be here. I'm super excited to hang out with all y'all for the next hour or so and chat about AI and ChatGPT. So we're going to start with the real basics. So we're going to be going a little bit through the 101 and then give some actual real examples of how to use ChatGPT and some other AI tools out there. So let's start with the basics. What is AI? Well, it's simply computers acting like humans. This is something that has obviously really emerged in the last year. There's been an AI boom. This is no longer sci-fi. It's not Terminator, right? Like it is a very real, intangible thing that will impact all of our businesses. Like I said, simply, it's computers acting like humans. It's computers that are able to think, learn, and make decisions like a real human would. Imagine like the smartest person you've ever talked to. That's what AI is. And why AI matters? Well, like I said, there's been a boom. And it's already impacting industries in very crazy ways. Pretty much all industries have been impacted, touched in some way, shape, or form. And part of the reason is prior to this year, AI would cost thousands of dollars. It was only really reserved for like big companies like IBM, Google, Facebook. And now, kind of through some advancements in technology, not only is it more affordable than ever, it's also very approachable, right? And you don't need to be a coder. You don't need to be an engineer. You just need to be able to chat with someone. And that's what's really beautiful about it. Everyone on this call should be able to use it because we're all on Alignable. We all like to network, and we all can have those real human conversations. And that's what AI is kind of doing today. So there are tons of benefits for your small business today. Like I said just a few moments before, AI is really impacting every industry in some way, shape, or form. And really the goal of this presentation is to empower everyone here to really embrace it and enable it, or let it enable you in a way that allows you to stay competitive. So a few benefits, right, of using AI for your business. It lets you streamline operations, lets you solve simple challenges. That's probably one of the most common uses of AI, just asking it a quick question, kind of treating it like a smart Google. You can use it to generate content. Another really common example of AI, getting it to write emails for you, suggest blog posts. We'll touch on a lot of that later today. Analyze data for insights. This is something that I use it a lot for, uploading a bunch of data into it and asking really complex questions. It could tell you about customers. It can tell you about variety of data that you're looking at. And then, like I said, it allows kind of all of us to stay competitive with, some of the big companies that have had access to AI for a while. So super important. And like I said, there's a few tools out there. You have, there's more than a few. There's hundreds that are even being created every single day. These are just a few examples of AI that you probably heard about. So starting with ChatGPT. ChatGPT is like a smart computer program. It's developed by OpenAI. That is, like I said, you can have text conversations with users. And it can answer questions. It can assist with like simple tasks like writing emails, essays, and it's trained on a lot of data on the internet, with the goal of just understanding how people talk and then generating how people talk. So that is ChatGPT. ChatGPT is one of my favorite tools. We'll talk a lot about it today. We also have Jasper AI, which is formerly known, I think, as Jarvis AI. It's a writing tool primarily. It lets you kind of create text like a human would. It's great for blog posts, social media, advertisements. It's all around just making your text and copy better. Then we have Google Bard. This is really Google's version of ChatGPT. You can chat with it very similar to how you would ChatGPT, but it's able to have all the intelligence of Google, right? This is something that it allows it can search the internet using Google and provide real results instantly. So it's great for if you're looking for really up-to-date content. And then lastly, Bing Chat, powered by GPT and built by Microsoft. This is again, another AI chatbot that lets you search for information on the web in a very conversational way. You're able to talk about your business, talk about your challenges, and it'll be able to give answers and responses to those queries in very natural human-like ways. So again, there's more than these tools. These are just a handful of tools out there. So we're going to go a little bit deeper on ChatGPT. To me, ChatGPT is one of the easiest tools for small business owners to use, and really is a very approachable entry-level way to just start to play around with AI and start to see how it can really impact your business. So ChatGPT, one of my favorite AI tools. To put it plainly, there's a bunch of tech stuff here, but to put it plainly, it's a robot that you can just chat with at any point to get what you need. It's available 24/7 to answer questions that you have. It understands what you need and how to really get there. And, very simply how it works. The way it works is you log into ChatGPT, you submit a request to it or a prompt. And this could be something simple like, hey, what's the capital of Washington, right? And it would be able to give you that answer pretty quickly. And then, once you submit that prompt, it takes a few moments to understand really what you're asking for. It looks at what you said just then, and then anything that you said kind of before, right? And it really understands the context of what you're asking. It combs through all of the information that it has, and this is pretty much all of the internet prior to March 2022. So lots and lots of information here. And then it just responds just like a human assistant would, right? So imagine you were talking to an assistant you were working with, you ask them a question, it's going to be able to kind of take on that role for you. And why ChatGPT specifically for small businesses? Let's delve into why ChatGPT. So firstly, it's cost effective. With ChatGPT, you can get you can use kind of like that AI I've been talking about without having to really bear the extreme expenses that has come with before. It's like having like a ultra high tech assistant for fraction of the price. Secondly, ChatGPT is always on. So if you have a question at 12 in the morning or 2 a.m., it can give you an answer within seconds. If you have a question and you need a quick answer in the middle of the day while you're working with clients, it's able to be there for you as well. So super, super effective because it's always there. And then there's that benefit of it being continuously learning. Every few months or so, there's a new update with ChatGPT, and that is retrained on all of the content that is usable for your business. So if you're looking for the latest trends and looking for how you should be shaping and navigating kind of all of the changes in the world, ChatGPT is a great ally in that, and really staying up to date on the latest market research, the best tools to use. ChatGPT is there for that. And lastly, research and content creation. This is, again, one of the most common uses. This can help very easily. So if you need to come up with new content for your website, a blog post, maybe a social media post, like ChatGPT is there for you. You can both brainstorm ideas. You can also ask for kind of it to edit your ideas. It's incredibly useful in so many different ways. So ChatGPT, great tool for small businesses. And so let's talk about how you actually use it, right? I walked you through a little bit of You ask a question, it looks up the info, and it gives you a response. But really, how you ask the question is the magic, right? And it's all about this term prompts, right? You'll hear me say prompts a few times. You'll hear it around the internet as well. Prompts are what you are saying to ChatGPT to get a response that you actually need. And creating a good prompt is really the only way to get the accurate and meaningful responses that you can actually leverage. So let's talk about some key factors. Like, what are the basics of a good prompt and how to actually write a prompt that, again, delivers what you need? Because prompts can take a little while. You want to make sure that you're maximizing your time so you're not having to, have this long conversation with this bot. That first prompt is going to be really important. So first off, clarity is key. Ensure your request is like really clear and specific to get the most accurate and helpful response. It's like talking to anyone, right? Like the clearer you are, the better the answer you'll receive. So, if you're on the phone with a friend, you may want to just make sure that, like, if you're asking them a question, it's very, very clear in what you're looking for. Then you want to frame your prompts in that natural conversation manner. ChatGPT is really good at understanding kind of what you're saying. So have a conversation with it, right? Like, explain in plain English how you're thinking about, challenges you want to solve, whatever your problem is at hand. And the language that you use to kind of make that request, it often will kind of model its response based on what you provide. It's also super important to provide context that it needs to make any recommendations or any decisions for you. Just like when you're asking for help, you want to make sure that the more information you provide, the better your answers are going to be. And then lastly, in the next 2 points, ChatGPT, super powerful tool, but it does have its limitations, right? There's some things that it's very good at, and there's some things it's not so good at. So make sure that you are, as you're exploring and as you're using it, you're finding those kind of nuances in what it's good at and what it's not, and then playing into that. And really just set those realistic expectations. For example, if you're using ChatGPT to write blog content, you probably don't want to expect that, all right, I'm just going to take this content and paste it in my website and have that work for you, right? It's all about that, understanding how ChatGPT is guiding and coaching and helping you use the responses that it gives. And sorry, lastly, reviewing and editing is a vital step. A lot of the times when you make that first request, you'll want to iterate on it a few times. If the response from ChatGPT isn't quite what you expected, make sure you rephrase, give feedback. That's one thing that is really cool. You can give feedback based on its responses. You can say, hey, that doesn't seem right. Let's try this other way. And it'll respond pretty well to that. So that's all good in theory. Let's talk about real examples. So I did some digging and I looked at all of the people who are registered for this event today. And I looked for some common industries and roles and try to figure out some good examples of how we can take a very simple prompt and develop it further. So surprisingly, a lot of real estate agents on the call today. So here's a problem that I want to propose. As a real estate agent, I want to post the right things to social media about my listings, right? Simple problem. Well, I may turn to ChatGPT and say something like, write a social media post for my real estate listing. Okay, very simple request. And the output would be just as simple, right? In this case, I say, write a social media post for my real estate listing. The output is just listed, a beautiful home waiting for its new owner. Okay, that's serviceable. I can use that. But maybe I want to add a little bit more context to that prompt. Maybe I want to talk a little bit about, the features of the home. So in this case, maybe I'll say, well, write a social media post for my real estate listing that highlights a few features of the home. And maybe I would list them there. And so in this case, the output changes a little bit. Maybe it's a little bit more enticing. It speaks to actually what the home is offering. That home boasts a modern kitchen, spacious backyard, a cozy fireplace. Don't miss out. Again, a little bit better because I'm giving that additional context and guidance in that prompt I'm creating with ChatGPT. Then write a social media, then obviously like adding even more layers. I want to talk about the few features. I want to cater specific to an audience. And it's able to, again, generate that output given that additional context. And going even one step further, now give me a complete social media strategy for my home listing with multiple with multi-channel posts and follow-ons. This is obviously like a very big ask of ChatGPT, and because you've provided additional context, you've explained who the home is for, some of the features you want to call out, you've added all of that context, and you've been very clear on what you're asking for, it would output a complete content calendar of posts with how you should customize for really each channel. So again, starting simple and working your way up to get actually what you need to better grow and get more visibility for your business. So another problem, right? A lot of consultants and business coaches on the call today. So let's talk about this example. As a marketing consultant, I need to optimize my service listings. And so maybe, again, start very simply with my prompts. I may say something like, well, write a service description about a marketing coach's free audit. Okay, very simple. And okay, it does an okay job. Free marketing audit, an in-depth review of your current marketing strategies. Again, it's doing okay, but maybe we want to layer in even more context. We may say, well, let's talk about how comprehensive my free audit is. And again, it's giving me that nice, it's understanding really what I'm asking for and delivering kind of a nice response that is really speaking to some of my requests. Then we want to layer in kind of the benefit my customers may receive. Maybe it's all about ROI. Layering that in, again, gives that ChatGPT a little bit more context in the types of service descriptions that it should be generating. And then obviously taking this even further, give me a full SEO optimized service description for the marketing consultant's free audit, highlight the value, give me complementary actions that I should be taking to boost my visibility here, boost my SEO. And really, like, I put this very similar prompt into ChatGPT, and what it did was it gave me a full SEO strategy for how I can start ranking for audits and marketing audits and kind of free consultations. And it was very, very helpful and obviously very robust. So it's all about, again, taking those simple problems, formulating a prompt that is clear, concise, and has all the context that ChatGPT needs to give you really actionable tips. I got one more of these examples, and then we'll talk about a demo. So, business coach, I want to make a good first impression with an insurance agent. So this is a very specific, use case. Maybe you're meeting them on Alignable. So a very common problem. You want to make that good first impression with someone you're connecting with. So in this case, I may say, write an opening message on Alignable, and you get something like this. And it's okay. Again, it's understanding what I need. It's giving me kind of the basic version of it. But if I want to optimize it, I may say add a touch of personalization, talk about the insurance agent's specific profile or achievements. And again, that prompt is getting it just a little bit better. I may then add, highlight a particular area that they are able to capitalize and that your clients are facing challenges that insurance agent can help with. And then lastly, again, getting really in depth, talking about, proposing collaborative initiatives you can undertake with that insurance agent. Again, a very simple prompt and problem that you can really kind of massage and work with ChatGPT to get you exactly what you need. So the one thing I'll say is perfecting prompts does take a little bit of work. So when you are working with ChatGPT, it does, take a little bit to make sure that you are getting the responses that you need and you're working with it collaboratively to get, again, things that are actually going to be helpful. Figuring out even where to start can take a lot of time and effort as well. But, when it does work, when AI is able to kind of solve these simple challenges for you, it can move mountains and can save you tons of time, and make you more efficient. And really, it's all about making your team feel bigger. So, and that's why, very excited for this call and very excited for this presentation, because I am very pleased to announce for the first time in public, the launch of our very own AI Playground, exclusive only for Alignable Premium members. And it is incredible. So now with Premium, you'll have the ability to chat with like the latest and greatest AI has to offer right from Alignable. Randy was saying this earlier. This takes all of that power of ChatGPT I just talked about, and it actually puts it into the Alignable app with some context about like what your business does. And so it's giving you really personal insights. And not only that, we've built these really cool AI coaches that are able to actually, again, look at that profile of yours on Alignable and provide personalized advice for you. This is cheaper than using ChatGPT because it comes with the power of Alignable Premium as well. So all of the features that are on Alignable already, you are getting kind of with this plan, and now you get these AI coaches as well. One of the beautiful things with these AI coaches is you can actually just click and go. So rather than trying to come up with what a marketing coach can do and giving it all the constraints, right? You can actually just click on it and it knows it's a marketing coach. It knows all the latest information about being a marketing coach, and it's able to answer any questions that you may have about marketing. The virtual assistant, very similar as well. It has all that context that you need, so you don't need to waste time prompting, coming up with the right requests and making sure you're phrasing things right. A lot of these AI coaches kind of take that heavy lifting out of the question. And if you want to explore more kind of beyond these coaches, we offer a explore on your own option as well. So we are very, very excited to demo these AI coaches today. While I'm pulling that up, Randy, if you want to come off mute, come on camera, and pull up some questions, I'll pull up the demo.
Cool. So as you're in the demo, I just had a couple questions come across actually regarding, can we see how the AI powered coaches work? So let me give you if you're okay with it, Phil, let me give you a few to start.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, cool. All right, so let's say, how can the AI coaches help me specifically network on Alignable?
It's a good
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. So we got a few coaches here: networking coach, marketing coach. We even have an Alignable Premium coach that's going to help you with all your all the things you need to know about your membership. I would start with that networking coach, right? That networking coach has really nice context of what Alignable is. So let's demo that real quick. And so if I was to click on this chat, I'm immediately in a conversation with this networking coach. In this case, it knows what my profile is. So I'm logged in as my own personal Alignable profile, which is a consultancy I run out of my home in Natick, called Zola Marketing, named after my dog. But it's able to understand that context, and it's asking me about what my goals. So like many people here, my goals may be to get more customers. Very simple. And at which point, it's going to take that information. It's going to tell me about, the know, like, and trust methodology. So really like understanding, hey, this is alignable, right? If you want customers, we have this awesome methodology here. So again, it has that context where if you were trying to build this somewhere else, you would have to work into your prompt. So pretty cool stuff. Yeah. And as you can see, it's telling me about know, like, and trust. I really like it. It's asking me about my profile, and I may say like, how familiar are you with optimizing your Alignable profile? And, not at all. Help me out. And again, like, because we've done this heavy lifting for you, you don't need to be super prescriptive in what you're asking. You could just have a conversation with it. So hopefully that answers your question. Randy, what else you got?
I got another. If I wanted to write some social media content for my social media platforms, as well as even email, can one of the coaches do that or help me with it?
Yes. So there's a few coaches you could talk to, right? And that's actually one of the beautiful things. Like, you can kind of get that marketing coach's experience, but you could also just chat with a virtual assistant as well. So the marketing coach, I may kind of start a conversation with it. It may ask me kind of, again, what my goals are. Yeah, my current marketing strategies. I can respond to this and say, something to the effect of, hey, right now, my goal is posting something to Facebook about my new service I'm offering called, free audit. Very much the demo I gave earlier. Can you give me a few ideas? So I'm going to send this over. Again, I'm just saying, hey, give me a few social media post ideas. And there you go. It's
Joe,
even
can
giving
you
me
blow
like,
it up a little more for a
yeah,
sec?
of course.
Just for
Yeah.
everybody, just so.
Is that better?
I think so. Perfect.
So you can see, hey, it's going to give me a few different approaches I could take, which is really cool. Again, it has that context of my business. I didn't even have to tell it that, like, I'm offering like a marketing audit, right? It understood that because of who I am and what's on my Alignable profile, which is really nice. But the other option is also just the virtual assistant. And I really like the virtual assistant coach a lot. I use it a lot. This is a coach that is able to just like whatever challenges I have. So I may say something along the lines of, you know, help me proofread this message. And then just for the sake, I'll take this message, I'll paste it here, and then I'll put a spelling error. Great. And again, it caught that it was a spelling error. It was able to give me that. So imagine this was a social media post. I could say, something along the lines of, now optimize that for to be a bit friendlier. Again, it's just incredible. You can have these quick conversations, and it can give you this really interesting output.